dear students. Today we are going to start our section with the topic polymorphism in Nidarians. What is this polymorphism? Polymorphism means more than one morphology. Okay, very simple. It is very clear from the term itself. It is the occurrence of same species of organism in more than one form. Why they exist in more than one form? To perform different functions. So that is polymorphism. Then what is the significance? Significance is the same thing. It guarantees division of labor. It guarantees division of labor. Then why is polymorphism? That feature is more prevalent in phylum Cnidarians. We know that Cnidarians are a colonial form. Colonial form. As it is a colonial form, then if polymorphism is there, they can have division of labor. Division of labor means if such a phenomena is there, then that colony can divide or share the job. Different jobs need to be done by the colony. So, in that way, polymorphism is more prevalent in Cnidarians. And under the phylum Cnidarians, class Hydrozoa, it is the best example of polymorphism. Okay, clear? Then we are going to see the main forms of different morphology that included in the phylum Coelenterates or Cnidarians. Coelenterates is the other name of phylum Cnidarians. The basic different morphological forms exist in Cnidarians are polyps and medusa. Clear? Different other types of soils also we can see in Cnidarians, but they are all modifications of this polyps and medusa. So foundations are this polyps and medusa. And then let's understand what are polyps. Polyps, look-wise, they are tubular and they have a mouth. It is surrounded by tentacles. That mouth is surrounded by tentacles in one end. While the other end, it is attached by a pedal disc to a substratum. So that is the thing. So it is tubular. It has mouth. Tentacles are there in one net, and it is attached with the substratum using its pedal disc. So I will show you an image of the polyp. So this is the polyp. At one end we can see the tentacle, and using the basal disc it is attaching with the substrate. Next we are going to see about Medusa. Its typical appearance is the shape of an umbrella. Shape of an umbrella or bowl. So that is its typical shape, and also it possesses marginal tentacles. Suppose if this is the Medusa, we can see so many marginal tentacles along its margin. And mouth is present, and mouth may located somewhere here, centrally to that circular structure. So mouth also present, and most of the cases that mouth is present at the end of manubrium. I hope that you have learned that in Cnidarian chapter. So I'm not going to explain about manubrium and what is that. Okay, so Medusa, it is an umbrella shaped or bowl shaped with marginal tentacles, and mouth is centrally located on a projection. Where that projection, its name is manubrium. Where that projection present, it is on the lower concave surface of this Medusa. Okay, and also it is motile, but this polyp is sessile. It is sessile, but Medusa is motile. That is the other difference between the polyp and the Medusa. Okay, next we are going to see different patterns of polymorphism. Mainly three patterns are there. They are dimorphic, trimorphic, and polymorphic. From the name itself, we can clearly understand what is di. Di means two, tri means three, poly means more than three. So let's see what is dimorphic. Dimorphic means it is the most simplest and common pattern. Here only two types of zooids can see because it is dimorphic, hence the name. In which all organism we can see this dimorphic type of polymorphism. Example, typical examples are hydrozoan colonies. Hydrozoan, class hydrozoan, as its examples in Obelia and Tubularia, we can see dimorphic type of polymorphism. And in that dimorphic type of polymorphism, two types of zooids are usually seen, gastrozooids and gonozooids. Which are the gastrozooids and gonozooids? Gastro, as the term indicates, gastro means something relating with the stomach. From that sense, we can clearly understand that this zooid is concerned with feeding. It is concerned with the feeding. And they are also known as hydrant. Hydrant, it is the other name of the zooid, gastrozooid. Then gonozoid, gonads. So something relating with the reproduction base function. So it is concerned with the asexual reproduction. And they are also known as blastostyles. They are also known as blastostyles. Okay, clear? Dimorphic is clear to you? Yes, okay. Then trimorphic. Trimorphic means an additional morphological form also present here. That form are called dactylozooids. Dactylozooids, they are defensive, D for defense, defensive zooids. And let us see. They are non-feeding, but they are defensive structures. And as it is defensive in function, it should contain some weapons. So we know that which is the defensive structure, offensive structure in Cnidarians, that is uh, nematocyst itself. Nematocyst itself. Then regarding the nematocyst, how it function, everything I have described in Cnidarians video describing about Cnidarians. So whoever have interest, go and watch that video in my channel. Then next pattern of polymorphism is polymorphic type of polymorphism. Poly means more than three zooids, more than three morphological forms we can see in such type of organisms. Example, Hydractinia. Hydractinia, here it contains 5 types of polyps, and each 5 type have its own special function. So Hydractinia, that colony we can see here. And let's see which are those 5 different types of zooids. Gastrozooids, as I already told you that gastro means something relating with the stomach feeding. So feeding zooid. Then dactylozooids, D for defense. So protection. Next is tentaculozoids. Tentaculozoids, as the name indicates, tentacles. Normally, organisms are used to perceive sensory impulses, sensory cues. So, tentaculozoids, its function also sensory. Then skeletozoids. Skeletozoids, they are certain spiny projections of chitin. Then the last one, gonozooids. Gonozooids, gono means something relating with the gonad. So it is concerned with the reproduction. So these are the 5 different types of zooids that we can see in Hydractinia. Next, we are going to see the modifications of polyform. I have already told you that in the beginning of this section, the basic, the foundation type of polymorphism in cnidarians are polyp and medusa. So here we are going to see what modifications are having or what modifications are happening to this polyp to create some more diverse morphological zooids. Okay, so modifications of polyps are gastrozoid. So gastrozoid is a modification of polyp. Here also we have seen the gastrozoid. So gastrozoid is a modification of polyp. It is a feeding polyp, and as it is feeding, it should possess a mouth and also a long tentacle also there. Gastrozoid. Mouth we can see, and tentacles also we can see. Then dactylo for defense, protective polyp. As it is protective in function, it do not possess any mouth but have a basal long tentacle. This is the dactylozooid. It do not possess any mouth. Then gonozoid, reproductive function performing polyp, and it produces sexual medusa. It forms sexual medusa. So this is gonozoid. We can see through budding, it is forming sexual medusa. Then we are going to see modification of medusa forms. Modifications of medusa forms are nectophore, nematophore, phyllozoid, and gonophore. So what is nectophore? Its picture is shown here. Picture. I mean, nectophore, this bell-like structure. I have already told you that typically that medusa have umbrella or some ball like structure. So here also we can see, as it is a modification of medusa, it has a ball-like appearance, nectophore. It is a swimming zooid. That nectophore is a swimming zooid, and they have muscular bell. They didn't possess any tentacles also. That is its peculiarity. Next, pneumatophore. Pneumatophore we can see here. Pneumatophore. This is an air-filled chamber-like structure, zooid. It is also a modification of medusa, and its function is to give buoyancy for the organism, and it is filled with secreted gas. Next is phyllozoid. Phyllozoid, or otherwise it is called bract. This phyllozoid is studded with, it is completely equipped with the nematosis. That means it is concerned with the protection. There is another name for this phyllozoid, that is hydrophila. Hydrophila. And its appearance is like a leaf or a helmet-like, and also it cover. This is the picture of that bride. It cover and protect other zooids of the colony. So that's about phyllozoid. Phyllozoid, what are the points we need to remember? It is concerned with the protection, and its other name is hydrophila, and its appearance is like a leaf or helmet-like, and it cover and protect other zooids of the colony. Next zooid, next modification of medusa is gonophore. Gonophore. They are all otherwise called gonad zooid. Gonad zooid, we can see here. They can be either male or female. Here we can see the male gonophores. So that's about the modifications of medusa forms. Next, we are going to see the theories that supporting or explaining the origin of polymorphism. Mainly, there are two theories, that is polyorgan theory and polyperson theory. First, we can understand about polyorgan theory. Polyorgan theory, it is proposed by Huxley. Then what theory is explaining regarding the origin of polymorphism? According to this theory, all the individuals of the colony, they are nothing. They are but organs of a medusoid individual. They are simply the organs of a medusoid individual. That is what this theory telling about. More clearly, we know that Medusa have different structures like a mouth, tentacles, manubrium, like that. All these structures, they are multiplying and modifying, and they are migrating from its original position and form that colony-like appearance or colonial-like appearance. And also, that theory is telling that polymorphism that we are seeing in Nidarians is not a colony, but it is actually a single organism. That is a more important thing. This theory tells that colony is actually a single organism, and the single organism is a medusa, and all the other structures that we are seeing as a colony, they are nothing but organs of a medusoid individual. Clear? Next, polyperson theory. Polyperson theory, it is proposed by Watt and Gegenberg. And this theory explained the origin of polymorphism by considering or taking the case of siphonophores mainly. They're telling that colony is actually polymorphic, and also a colony itself, that Nidarians group, Nidarians polymorphic forms is actually colony itself, and they are all modified polyps, and they can produce medusa. So according to theory, the cycnophores, they are polymorphic colonies. That is the important thing. They are polymorphic colonies, and they are all modified polyps which can produce medusa, So these are the two theory that supports or explains the origin of polymorphism in Nidarians. With this, we can finish this topic. Thank you.
I'm an icon, man. And my girl about a 10. I should fuck her in a Benz.